Hello, everyone's. I am here for my review of Married to Medicine, Season 12, Episode 16, The Reunion, Part 2. If you are new to my channel, welcome. I am Lady T. I like to do reviews on scripted shows, reality shows, and also do reactions. If you're returning, you one of my peoples, welcome back. Simone just wanted Jackie to admit in front of everybody that she was not being aggressive, she was not being threatening, and she wasn't being hostile towards Heavenly. Now, I said that when this first happened. Heavenly came over there on some ha 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 stuff. Simone wasn't feeling it. And when Heavenly put her hand on Simone's shoulder, Simone politely lifted it up and walked off. Now, Heavenly, she didn't spin a narrative that Simone was being aggressive and hostile, and she was so fearful. Like, Simone grabbed her hand with the strength of Hulk, grabbed it, lifted her up, swung her around, and flung her into the next century. When we all know, if Heavenly actually felt some type of threatened, she would have been calling security, just like she was calling for security when it looked like Contessa was finna run her down on that beach last season. Even though I didn't review it last season, I watched last season, and Heavenly was quick to call security on Contessa because she was fearful of her life. She wasn't fearful of her life with this situation with Simone. And everybody on the couch could agree to that. It's just that Jackie, she does this thing to where she likes to play both sides of the fence. She want to be like, well, since I didn't see anything, I could not comment on anything. And when it was brought up to her and she saw what happened, she still didn't want to say anything. And this is where Simone gets mad at Jackie. Like, you saw this and you knew how this could affect my reputation, and this could affect my clientele. You've been in a situation where things has been said mainly of your own doing and how that could have affected things, and you didn't think it was right to stand up for me in this situation. Jackie finally, she had no choice but to be like, Simone, I am sorry. You were not being aggressive towards her. You simply just, now I'm paraphrasing, you simply just politely got her arm off of you. And it's like, the way Heavenly is trying to spin the things, like, in order for her to take your arm off of her, your arm had to be put on her by you. So I don't know why she's doing this thing, but then again, this is what Heavenly does. Heavenly will say and do anything, whether it's going to hurt somebody's reputation, and just go on about her business like nothing even happened. So, Curtis is big mad that Eugene didn't correct or check Toya when she has stated that Curtis was out here putting his hands on women. And Eugene just wants to know where the lie is, because it has been shown that you have been putting your hands on women. Not in a violent way, but like in an appropriate way. A lot of us remember that episode where Toya was walking past Curtis and Curtis grabbed her by her hips and put her in his lap. That was inappropriate, seeing as how it wasn't long before where he was caught out here cheating. So she's not wrong when she said you've been putting your hands on women and you shouldn't be doing that. We seen a picture where he had his hand around Heavenly's waist. It looked inappropriate since it was coming from Curtis, since Curtis liked to be doing these things. Again, him cheating. Not only him cheating, but him doing it like where it could be found out. Now, I'm not going to sit here and I'm not trying to tell people how they should and shouldn't cheat, because I just don't think you should be cheating. But if you're going to do it, why are you doing it in the busy airport of Atlanta? Why are y'all holding hands when you as tall as I'll get out? So that off bat is going to give you a lot of stares like, oh, that's a tall man. Added to that, your wife was on a popular show. And we know that you are married to somebody else, but you're walking through the airport with somebody who's not your wife. How about, now again, I am not trying to tell people to cheat, and I do not agree with cheating. But since he was going to do that, how about y'all just met separately? That way, it didn't look weird. And it also looks weird that you're always on some business trip. You always off golfing instead of being here. Yeah, and I'm with Eugene, like, where was the right toe. We've seen instances. One, like I said, pulling for your lap. Two, y'all having your arm around Heavenly's waist. Three, you holding hands and cheating all throughout Atlanta airport. So where does y'all can't even go to Hilton Head no more? And I'm trying to figure out, did they actually have a really good sit down and talk about Curtis and his cheating, or was this one of those things that we don't want to hurt Jackie's feeling, even though Jackie be hurting everybody else's feelings? So we're not going to talk about it for real in front of them, but we may talk about it amongst ourselves type of situation. But Curtis was getting on my nerves this episode outright. He is mad about them talking about what he did, and he should be mad that he was actually doing those things. The ladies discuss how some of their patients are going to TikTok for advice. Like, hey girl, if you're feeling like this, get this new smoothie. It's $19.99. It'll help you do A, B, C, and D. Not really knowing how your body is going to react to that, and going by what somebody on TikTok is telling you as opposed to what your doctor is telling you. Now, I'm not going to sit out here and judge them because I have gone to WebMD more than a few times myself to be like, man, what does that mean when I'm having a pain in my lower back on the right side? Like, what is that all about? But the problem with that is WebMD, it goes to the least extreme to the most extreme. It can be like, oh girl, you didn't stretch enough when you was about to work out, or you just slept wrong, to no, the lower right part of your back is about to fall out in the next 42 to 44 seconds. So you should be calling the ambulance right now so you can get there to the emergency room to get things under control. That's how WebMD be doing. And I tell myself all the time that I'm not going to go back and self-diagnose myself, but then again, I have another ailment, and I mean, like, what does that mean when your right pinky toe is tingling? Oh, that means your toe about to fall off, or you just stubbed your toe and you didn't know it. The older I've got, I realized that doing the slightest, I'm hurting myself, and I do not like that at all. Like, how is I sleep at night? That's all I did, and I'm waking up in pain. That's not right. I don't like the fact that my body is betraying me. And I know that goes with getting older, but still, I don't have to like it. But anyway, back to taking TikTok advice. They're also putting their lives at risk, their lives and their babies' lives at risk, because they want to have a specific zodiac sign. And my first thought was, like, you should have did more planning. If this was so important to you, and you wanted to have your baby with this specific zodiac sign, maybe the 10 months prior, when you were ovulating, this is when you should have been, doing the deed to make sure that, hey, if I'm getting going on at this time and I get pregnant, it's a good chance that I'm going to have the zodiac sign of my choice. And I don't want women to be out here putting their bodies and putting themselves at risk and their baby themselves at risk because they want to have a specific zodiac sign. I did like that they were talking about PrEP, and I'm going to sit here and I was ignorant to it for a long time because I thought it was just for same-sex relationships. I didn't know it was for everybody, and I'm glad Contessa would let it be known, this is for anybody who is not in a monogamous relationship. Like, if you and this person, y'all together and it's just y'all should be cool, but people be cheating. But if you just out here living your life and doing what you want to do, make sure you on PrEP, because even though HIV AIDS is not a death sentence like it was 30-40 years ago, it's still could affect your health, so make sure you get on PrEP, which I didn't know that was for everybody thing until I think it was, who was it? It was some celebrity that was talking about that last year sometime about being on PrEP, and I am glad that they was like, hey, this is for everybody. This is just not for a specific group of people. This is PrEP is for everybody, and I do appreciate that they put that awareness out there. When I tell y'all, Curtis and Steve was working my nerves this whole reunion, I'm gonna need y'all both to sit down. So Curtis is still mad that Toya is the only one calling out his actions in the past. Curtis wanted to do the things he's done in the past and nobody talk about it. Like, we here today. We not talking about what I did yesteryear. But it is okay for Steve to talk about what happened yesteryear. It was very annoying, and it was getting on my nerves. It's like, Curtis, if you didn't want people to talk about what you've done in the past, maybe you should have been doing those things. Like, you were on a television show, a popular television show at that, and you was out here doing these things and acting like nobody was gonna talk about it. Now Steve, he is mad at Eugene for defending Toya when he does the same thing with Mimi. And it gets on my nerves, and it also confuses me a lot, and it's like a little nerve galling audacity. When one person does something, you're mad about it, but you're doing the same thing almost in the same breath. So it's not okay for Eugene to stand up to Toya. Now, there's been times where Eugene has been like, Toya, you tripping, A, B, C, and D. And then there's times where he has supported her. Like, Steve, how is it any different from you between you supporting Mimi? Because it seems like you were more mad about the situation than Mimi was. Like, granted, Toya, she does some out-of-pocket things all the time. She cussed y'all out and hurt y'all to get out of her house. But it seemed like, for whatever reason, Mimi took it hardest the most. Everybody else was like, child, please. Like, and then they went on about their business. Like, that's Toya. Toya cussed you out in 1 minute. And then, like, the next time you see her, y'all hugs and y'all drinking and having a good time. But Mimi, for whatever reason, took this really, really hard. And she's been holding on this since she got kicked out of Toya's house. And it's been very evident about that. And now Steve has to defend his wife on, you mad at Toya and Eugene. So therefore, it's more of mad at Toya, but Eugene is collateral damage because he is defending Toya's actions. Yeah, like, Curtis and Steve are more upset about Toya speaking the truth. It's like, y'all mad about what Toya says, but y'all completely cool when Heavenly says all kind of out-of-pocket stuff. It's perfectly fine that Heavenly has been known to and said several lies on the show. When she mad at you, she will say anything. She'll be like, yeah, and that's why I heard that you was in the hospital, you was sleeping on duty, you wasn't doing no work, you was making all the interns doing anything, you was taking their checks, you was doing A, B, and C, and D, and then going on about her business after she done put some mess out there like that out, some mess like that out there, and going about her business, knowing that can harm your reputation. But when Toya was actually saying what Curtis actually did, no, we can't stand for that. No, this won't do. You must apologize. Don't bring up my past actions for the things I done. But we're going to sit here quiet when Heavenly does some more messed up stuff. Y'all, I don't like this if apology that Curtis gave to Quad. Because, like, anytime you got to put if in an apology, it's like you're not really sorry. You just doing this to save face. Because it's like, if what I did offended you and hurt you, I'm sorry. It's like, no, what you did was offensive and it hurt. He talking about he didn't know the magnitude of the struggle that they were having trying to get pregnant. I'm like, sir, your wife is a whole doctor out here. And she's specialized in fertility treatment. And more times than not, when you're going for fertility treatment, it's because you're having trouble to make a baby. Am I right? Now, I know there are some cases where, this is me, TV talk, where child is sick, I need cord blood, so I'm going to specifically get pregnant through IVF to make sure I get a child that has the correct blood, so I can, my child is sick, I can use that cord blood. But that's sometimes with IVS. But more times than not is, we're having trouble having a baby, so we're going through the IVF route. So it's the fact that he's talking about I didn't know the magnitude of struggle. This is what your wife specializes in. And you mean to tell me you didn't know? This is giving off of people was dragging me online and I don't want to be dragged in the group. So I'm going to say I didn't know how serious it is, even though this is what my wife specializes in. So I'm going to go this route. It's no, you were being very, very judgmental about Quad and King and how they wanted to start a family. Even though, and you tried to throw the Bible in it, even though you was out here living reckless. But now, I guess, because you, asked for forgiveness, then that just, once you ask for forgiveness, then therefore, we shouldn't bring up your indiscretions of the past. I just did not like this. It was a non-apology that Curtis was giving off. Like I said, Curtis was working my nerves this entire reunion. And it's like, the things he was mad about, it was because of mainly from his own actions being called out, and he don't like that because I guess. And why was he like first chair when the men came out? What have you done this season besides be like made some messed up comments and being mad about your own actions being called out? Child, the Met Gala again. Mimi and Steve feel targeted by Toya and Eugene. And Steve over here talking about, we paid more than y'all ever paid, yada, yada, yada. It's like, you want, I don't know, maybe this is just me, but it was coming off like, we got it like that, but the way you're complaining makes it seem like y'all don't got it like that. If that makes sense. Like, we spent $5,000 on this ugly bowl last season. We did that. We paid more money than y'all. It's like, okay, and this is supposed to be for charity, not one-upping everybody else in the group. And, like, y'all are not being targeted. Because Toya let it be known that, first of all, she asked everybody who came in, do they have a ticket? They had a specific lady at the door, like, hey, okay, a name of everybody who has bought a ticket. And if you didn't buy a ticket, therefore, you pay for the ticket at the door. And it wasn't like they specifically like, okay, this is a picture of Mimi and Steve. If they show up, you make them pay and don't make anybody else pay. And it wasn't like that. Eugene just went up there and was like, hey, did y'all buy a ticket? And it's like, well, we got it. You know, we was at the table with Jack. It's like, this is supposed to be a charity event. And the way you always going on about y'all done paid this and y'all done paid that and y'all didn't want to pay the, like, what was it, $1,500 to get in here to go to this specific, ooh, I can't talk today. Charity? What? And then Toya lets us know that, like, the last two Met Galas, Jackie didn't communicate anything with the rest of the ladies. She just asked for money, so therefore she did the same thing, and now they are getting mad about her. And I was like, that is one thing I did not know. That the last two, Jackie was in charge, Jackie did everything, Jackie did not communicate, she just asked for money. So I'm just trying to figure out, why is it that, like, Toya is getting singled out about this now. And what it sounded like, and I could be wrong, that Toya and Eugene did donate money these last events. It's just that one time they also donated wine, or they just donated wine. So I was trying to figure that out. It sounded like Toya was saying, yes, we paid in the past. And look, Jackie's agreeing with it, and we did see Jackie shaking her head. But that also could have been, like, editing on the show's behalf. But I'm like, so if Jackie did that and didn't communicate and just asked for money, and Toya did that, why are we mad that Toya did the exact same that Jackie did? I was confused about that, and if y'all know, can you please, like, leave that in the comment section below to, you know, clarify some things for your girl. So, since Toya commented that Steve's body looks nice, in his opinion, this is why Eugene is mad at him. So I'm like, so are they targeting you, or does Toya want you? I was just trying to figure out, because if Toya liked your body, because she did comment that, like, out of all the people, King and Steve is the only one should be having their shirts off. So you would think if she wanted to see your body all the time, she would want y'all around all the time. So how is it that she's targeting you? I need some clarification on these things, because to me it's like he wanted to be like, you just mad that Steve got all his body, Eugene, and you mad that you ain't got all this body, so you taking out your frustrations on me. And I don't think that is the case with Eugene. I think Eugene was just frustrated, and they were like, this is supposed to be about the women of married to medicine, and this was our gala. How come you were doing A, B, C, and D? And it was like, Eugene was supporting Toya in this event that she was doing. And I don't know. Maybe it is because out of the husbands on the group, Eugene is more supportive to Toya than some of these other men. Could be wrong. I've been wrong in the past, and I'll be wrong again. But that is where it's coming off of. Like, how dare you pitch in to help out your wife? And I believe, if I'm not wrong, this came from Contessa, which Contessa, I think it was another situation where it's like, you mad that Scott didn't throw you that birthday party, and here Eugene is over here helping Toya out with this event, and you mad about it. I could be wrong. I could be reaching. I've done it before in the past, and I definitely will do it again. That was the gist. If I left anything out, by all means, leave a comment below. If you are new to my channel, welcome. Feel free to subscribe. It is free all day, every day, free $99. Make sure your notifications are on so when my beautiful face puts up a video, you can click on it, you can like it, you can share it to your people, and you can come over and be one of my peoples by clicking that icon above. This is Lady Z signing off. Have a good one.